Yo, what is up, everybody? This is Kyle and Mike from the Fantasy Phenom. We are back to recap a 4-game slate from Thursday and look ahead to a 10-game slate again on Friday. Already some juicy matchups looking like they're going to come about tomorrow, or there are tomorrow, I guess you could say. Enes Kanter personally killed all my lineups tonight. I legitimately had him in every single lineup. I told you guys he was going to be a lock for me, and I wasn't lying. And he killed him.
Kyle's GOAT, Phenom, NBA Hall of Famer, mustache wearing dude, Enes Kanter let Kyle down tonight. And look at that face. He just can't handle it.
Dude. Damn it, man. And he's out for 2 months. He's out for fucking 2 months.
It couldn't have been a better way to go down.
Punching a fucking chair.
I'm sorry, it's funny.
Damn it, man.
He broke his arm punching a chair. That's how you know. That's how you know he's a GOAT, because he takes it that serious.
Right? Nobody else on the Thunder cares that much.
He's like, "Fuck this chair. I'm going down."
What sucks is the cash line was 301 in my GPP. So these are the two lineups I played in the big $25 GPPs. 290 and 289.3. And so I legitimately needed 21 points from Kanter to cash, and that was well within his range. But
he wasn't really having a good game, to be honest with you. I was watching it, and
yeah, but he had 11 points at halftime. You don't think he can get 11 more points? I think that's very doable.
Yeah, no, it's definitely doable to get you to the cash line, but I don't think that's what you were looking for when you rostered him.
No, definitely not. But shit, I'll take it. If I can get out of there with some money, I'll take it. But instead, I didn't cash at all again. But you know what?
Speaking of sweat, Lou Will had me on the edge of my seat today.
Yeah, Mike took down a GPP.
Yep, won me $500 on a $1.
There you go, buddy. That's how you do it.
And a water bottle.
And a water bottle.
Could have been rich, but I played that lineup in a $1 GPP and the free swag giveaway, which won me a water bottle. So, whatever. I'll cherish it. I'll bring it to the show one day and show you this beautiful water bottle.
Pretty excited about it. Zach LaVine did his thing last night. 36 points. Beat projection. 6 times value. And he was 8% owned in my GPPs. So, we talk about bad players in a good spot. Or not even a bad player. Zach's not even a bad player. He just needs to get the usage. And sure enough, he did. And he did his thing.
Yeah, I mean, we said it last night. I think I said it. We both were saying it. Like, the fact that he is not playing well and on a 4-game slate, if you get this guy sub 20% ownership, let alone 8%, I mean, this guy's got talent, and that's an awesome play on a 4-game slate. And we kind of knew going in he was going to be low owned.
You want to talk about a sweat? You talked about Lou Williams. Jeff Teague had 5 points with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. He ended the first half with 19, and then all of a sudden just turned it up.
Wait, tonight he only had 5 points in the second quarter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was heavy into my research. I really wasn't watching my lineups much until the end there. And when I tuned in, everything was looking gravy, you know?
I mean, it's just, again, it reinforces the statement of it's a 4-quarter game. Patience is a virtue, right? Like, guys get off to a slow start and then they start balling out. Or vice versa. Derek Favors had like 9 points at the end of the first quarter and finished with 18. So they go the other way too.
That's right. You never know. And then Russell Westbrook today, I didn't play him, but he had 19 real-life points in the fourth quarter alone. Just put that game away.
That was another thing, right? Russell Westbrook was looking like he was going to bust hard tonight.
Yeah, I think if you played cash and faded Westbrook, everybody was probably like, yes, I faded Westbrook, and then, damn it.
By the way, Zubat had 29.5 FanDuel points tonight against Utah.
Yeah, he had another double-double, didn't he?
Yep,
Or close to it.
16 and 10.
Wow. So that wait-and-see approach didn't do us any favors tonight.
Told you. The Lakers like him, man. They're going to give him run, and they should.
I mean, they've given worse people run on that team this season.
That is true. So, someone asked, where's the tipping link? Right now I have it set up with the PayPal, the kyle.nesser@gmail.com. You can just send it right there. Much appreciated, man. Thank you. But you know what, man? I'm really excited because the projections are I feel like they've been spot on the last 3 days. And what's crazy is I haven't cashed more than, I at least haven't broke even. I've lost money the last 3 nights, which is weird. You know, talking about my projections and whatnot. But I'm seeing the community as a whole. Everyone, or a majority of people are winning right now. And that's awesome to see. Like, I'm seeing all these winning lineups. The Facebook group is active. You know, everyone's excited. The energy's high right now. So I'm glad that shit is back on track.
Yeah, I mean, from the top here, this spreadsheet we're showing to you, obviously, if you get in that email group, you're going to get it for free. And these projections and the optimizer that Kyle builds, and it's going to shoot out these lineups. People are playing them. People are figuring out how to use these spreadsheets to their advantage. And that's why I think, you know, given some time, people are learning how to use these spreadsheets to their advantage, and they're winning money now. More consistently, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, you know, Jeremy just mentioned right now, the late night projections were spot on. Almost won him $500. I love that, man. When I can get, my goal, here's my goal, right? Is I ideally would like each player to score within 4 points of their projection or higher, right? So, like, at the very worst, you look at Harrison Barnes here at 33. If he scores 29 points, I'm okay, because that's, you know, give or take, that's a reasonable amount given the projection. Now, if they go beyond that, they can go 20 points above that, and that's fine. You know, I'm not going to be upset. But when I can see that, you know, plus or minus 4 points, so George Hill, 29.9 at 33. You know, Derek Favors kind of disappointed. Devin Booker disappointed. Cat plus 3 points, 3.22. Lou Williams right at it. So, I mean, they're accurate right now, and I love the tweak that I made to get these projections to where they are. And I will tell you one thing that, and I'll never understand this. If you look at like Line Star or any other of these projection apps, this line probably projects at like 260. They always super lowly project. Lowly, if that's a word.
They lowball you.
Yeah, they do. And I don't understand that.
I do. It's because they don't want people coming back and giving them heat, you know?
That's fair.
And you know, this is just a tool for you guys. We're trying to refine this to help you guys win money. And the goal isn't for you to just throw these lineups in. Obviously, it works from time to time, but you guys got to watch the games, do your own research, and this is just a tool to help you do that. And
we're trying to give you all the tools in one spot.
Yeah, we want you to refine your own process that you are comfortable with. And we really do think, and I really do think that, you know, this spreadsheet and these projections are a prime tool to help out.
So I really liked what someone said the other night, and I forget who it was, so I apologize. Obviously, with this now, I have the lineups based on projection, lineups based on GPP, and lineups based on cash, so floor and ceiling, right? Someone made a really, really good point. They were going to take all the optimal lineups from each of those and cross-reference them and see, okay, which player is showing up in all three and how many times. So that, I think, is a really good tool because you see that they are a safe play across the platform, right?
Right, they're safe for both formats, and so easy building blocks.
Yeah, so I like it. That's a really, really smart approach to it. Don't just take the lineup, but use what it's spitting out to your advantage, and build around that. And you know what? Here's the thing. My projections, here's the one thing I will say. My projections did not have Jokic at all unless it was in the late line. So on the main slate, Jokic was not projected at all. So that's a miss. But if you were to say, you know what, I really like Jokic tonight, I'm going to throw him in there, and then I'll piece it around there, then you did well, because Jokic had 60 points, and if you had Karl Anthony Towns and Jokic, you probably cashed tonight. So
with that being said, you look at that lineup right there. Say you like Towns over Jokic, like I did. I could have taken that lineup right there and traded the price difference between Jokic and Towns.
Yeah.
Paid up to someone else and cash. So it's just you gotta use your head. You gotta watch these games. You gotta be smart. You gotta play this every day, even if it's only a quarter game. Build your lineups and get in a routine.
So. Well, shit. All right, let's get into tomorrow's slate. Like I said, juicy matchups. You know what? At the end of the day, trust the damn process. Trust the damn process. It's working, I'm telling you. It's not always going to hit, but I can tell you this much. My goal is for these projections and these lineups to hit 60% of the time. If you're cashing 6 out of 10 nights, you're a profitable DFS player. And you know what? All it takes is that one big one, and all those losses are forgotten. So.
Yep.
And we've seen it.
There's a way to do this.
We've seen it, man. That 391 lineup last night.
Hell, I won $500 tonight and only put in $1. Who knows what would have happened if I decided to not play light? Oh wait, I'm sorry. I won $500 in a water bottle. So, trust the process. I'm not complaining. I'll take it.
All right. Well, Brooklyn at Cleveland. This is obviously. I'll tell you guys right now. I didn't expect this. When I ran the projections and the optimal lineups for tomorrow, and it's never done this before, it spat out all 3 of the big 3 for Cleveland tomorrow. Take that how you will. And that was in the projected and GPP. So take that how you will.
Stack, that Brooklyn stack. That Cleveland stack is won me money in the past, so why not against Brooklyn, right?
It was safe, man. It's a safe pick. So Kyrie obviously is in a great matchup. We look right here, Brooklyn, easily allowing the most points to opposing point guards on the season. Not even close. And last time they played, I think he had a good game. Let me pull it up. I can tell you his stats. Against
they all did.
Brooklyn,
It was a close game.
Yeah, 45 points for Kyrie, 32, 3, and 4. So
everybody's high on my water bottle here. I promise when I get it, I'll bring it on the show and everyone can see this amazing water bottle. But yeah, obviously I watched the game. It was the game before Christmas. And it was a good game. It was a close game. And no one rostered Cleveland because of the fact that they're playing Brooklyn, but I don't know, they're coming to play tomorrow. I don't think they're going to overlook the Nets like they did that game.
And you know what? It's weird. I've never heard Mike say this, but Mike actually thinks it'll be a blowout tomorrow.
And that's what I'm saying because
I don't think it's a
I
blowout.
don't know. I think people are going to look at the fact that last game it wasn't a blowout. But you have to keep in mind that the game after that was against the Warriors on Christmas Day. So I feel like they were kind of overlooking the Nets that day. Looking past the Nets. And so I kind of got close, and I don't think that happens tomorrow. I mean, they just lost 3 straight. They can't lose to the Nets. They're going to come out and just kind of run some train tomorrow, in my opinion.
The Cavs' second unit is so bad, and Brooklyn's bench is what keeps them in games. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not even that it's their bench. They just all play 24 minutes. It's like they have 10 guys that average in the 20s, and so they don't play a traditional rotation.
I don't know, man. I just think I think Brooklyn can keep it at least competitive until the fourth quarter, and that's all I can ask for. If Brooklyn, if it's 6 minutes in the fourth quarter, LeBron is leaving the court, I think that's a successful night.
So I don't think this is something that I think you pick one to play in your cash game. I don't think you can play. I don't know if you play all three in your cash.
Definitely in GPP though.
Me,
I'm playing all three in a GPP.
Yeah, of course. That stack is always in consideration. I mean, look what they just did against the Pelicans. Nobody was on that stack against the Pelicans because of the same reasons we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fact that Pelicans are not a great defensive team, and they thought they would just come in and do what they wanted. But that stack won you the money. So, again, it's unlikely, but it's DFS, you know?
Okay, what about Kemba at New York?
I think I would rather play Kyrie for just a bit more than Kemba at New York.
What's
what
Kyrie?
about you?
Yeah, he's only 500 more. Yeah, I'm playing Kyrie.
Yeah, the difference on DraftKings is a little bit, it's about the same. 83 to 79.
Derrick Rose. He has a good matchup against Kemba.
Does. And Derrick Rose has been kind of up and down lately. He's probably a good tournament play at that price. I don't really think there's anybody else in that range at all.
Yeah.
That I would even consider. Because Alfred's price is skyrocketed. He's 7,000 on DraftKings. So, yeah, for 6,500, I think he's a nice tournament option in that mid-range.
Patrick Beverly against Philly, no thank you. TJ McConnell against Patrick Beverly, no thank you. Here's an intriguing one, and I think you can stack both point guards in this. Mike Conley and Dame Lillard.
See, I don't think I'm going to go there. I do want to say I kind of like the TJ McConnell call tomorrow in tournaments against Patrick Beverly.
Interesting, okay.
The reason I say that is just because if you look at what McConnell has been doing recently, it's well worth the price. On DraftKings, he's 5,300, and he's put up 2 35-point games in the last 3, and they weren't in, awesome matchups.
Do you think it's because no Embiid?
I don't know. I mean, he's got double-digit assists in each of the last 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
And his scoring numbers aren't up, so I don't think it's because of the lack of Embiid, to be honest with you. And I think everyone's going to be off of him because Patrick Beverly's on him. And it's probably going to be one of the higher point totals of the night. So, again, in a tournament, I could get behind it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you play Dame over Mike Conley?
Yes.
I agree with that. 8,200. His price has even dropped more.
He's under 8K on DraftKings now.
Did I miss something with Rondo? I know he had that tweet and that Instagram post, but why is he down to 3,500?
Because I don't think anybody expects him to play another minute in a Bulls uniform.
Oh, okay. So that's what happened. So that thing's blown up?
Oh, yeah. Big time, man.
Okay.
He scorched earth. I
saw what he said about Butler and Wade, yeah.
It was pretty bad. I mean, it was kind of contradictory, too. I mean, the fact that he's saying it on an Instagram post.
Yeah, I mean, that whole situation is kind of weird, though. I mean, Jimmy Butler, I don't know, man. For as good as Jimmy Butler is, he's been the heart of controversy for the last 3 years on this Chicago team. Every year, anytime controversy comes up, Jimmy Butler has been in the middle of it.
I don't even think it's any of these players' fault. I think it's just the organization's fault. To me, it's like you have an NBA league full of players that are opinionated and they have attitude problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's up to the organization to put that shit in check, in my opinion, and the Bulls just haven't done that.
Wade to the Cavs?
Wade to the Cavs? I don't think he stays. I don't think he's leaving at the mid-season, but
He definitely
I don't
is
think he's
not.
gonna be.
I don't think he's coming back next year.
Yeah, he can opt out, but I don't think they're trading him. Is what I'm saying.
They may as well. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm kind of stirring up some rumors here. This is purely.
So you think that they're gonna bet that he's gonna opt out at the end of the year?
I don't think
And
you.
so,
I think you'd be smart to think he would. I mean, what leads you to not think he's going to?
I don't know, the fact that the reason he signed there because it's his hometown and he's nearing the end of his career, and this is just like something that's kind of come about.
And Bosch made that comment today about him and Wade going to Cleveland with LeBron. Bosch is done, but I don't know. I'm just saying it's not out of the realm of possibility. Just watch for it.
Super teams, assemble.
You know what though? I get it though. Like, I get it from both sides. LeBron, the Warriors signed Durant, and what did they sign? They got fucking Kyle Korver. Like they have to make a move to compete with the Warriors. So I get it, but at the same time, LeBron is also done. He's literally ran that team, and you know they signed Tristan Thompson to a max deal, which was a terrible idea. Anderson Varejao, like I don't know, man. Just some of the deals that he's wanted have been questionable to me.
I don't know what the fact that I'm not going to get too much into it. What I'll say is that the Cavs are a super team right now. They shouldn't need anyone else.
They're starting.
Maybe they need some help on the second team.
That's where they needed their bench, yeah.
But they don't need the fact that they're crying for more studs is ridiculous in my opinion.
No, I don't blame LeBron at all. The Warriors made a move.
The Raptors are 3 games back of the Cavs right now. They're no super team.
All right, Goran Dragic against Chicago. I like the move. I like that play.
I do too. He's coming off a good game. I think he's a safe cash play. His price didn't really rise that much like I thought it would.
I think he'll be low owned.
Yeah, he usually is. And the fact that Dion Waiters is on a super hot streak, he's probably going to garner some extra ownership. So I agree. I could get behind Dragic tomorrow.
Brogdon or Dellavedova? Maybe Delly for a really sneaky play against Kyle Lowry tomorrow?
Yeah, these guys are both splitting time. Their prices on DraftKings are a little bit closer together. I think it's like Delly's 42 and Brogdon's 47, something like that. Obviously, I like Brogdon for the upside, but Dellavedova for the floor.
I don't know. I just think Delly starting going up against Lowry could be sneaky, but
could be definitely. There's something to look at there.
I'm not starting Kyle Lowry. I just don't think he hits value consistently enough.
It seems like he's on somewhat of the tail end of a hot streak. So without DeRozan again, he always garners consideration.
Isaiah Thomas is up to 9,800 tomorrow against Orlando in Boston. Isaiah Thomas is on a fucking another level, man. He's matchup proof. He really is.
Yeah, he's obviously in play. He's becoming one of those studs that you just can't question. I don't know if I play him in a cash game just because there's always that thought in my mind, like, can he continue to
absolutely
be this
it's
good?
not even a question. Isaiah Thomas has always been good. This year, he's just taken it to another level.
Yeah, but he doesn't. It's not even like. So from a fantasy perspective, he doesn't do much else other than score, and he has been shooting the lights out, like insane shooting percentages.
It's not going to slow down, I promise.
There's no way. I don't know.
Yeah, well, even that though. 9 assists, 13 assists the last 2 games. He has peripherals.
I'm not saying he's not. I just don't see him continuing. I'm not saying to fade him by any means in tournaments. I'm just saying in a cash game play for $200 more, I would rather play John Wall.
Against Atlanta, that's definitely a good play. Fuck it. Can you go John Wall and Isaiah Thomas tomorrow?
On FanDuel, I was just building a lineup right before we got on.
It's $20,000.
Man, I don't know. I think it definitely can do it. They're in a tournament. Those guys are both elite tournament plays.
I love Isaiah Thomas, man, and I'll admit some of it's Boston homerism, but
Oh, he's been making me money too, man. I'm not lying. I'm just saying that.
yeah,
You gotta put in perspective at some point. Like, if he continues at this level, it would be historic. You know.
I agree. A sneaky play, if he's sneaky, I don't know how high owned he'll be. To me, I don't think he'll be high owned, but that's why I don't do ownership projections because I don't know. Alfred Payton against Isaiah Thomas is a good matchup.
Yeah. Speaking of biases, Alfred Payton was incredibly high owned last time he played against Chicago.
Yep, and busted hard.
Yeah, so if you think about everybody on a bias, I don't think Payton gets that much ownership tomorrow. And he's still going to get his usage because there's no one to play at shooting guard. And if you look at the numbers without Fournier and without, who's his backup? Augustine.
His usage is...
Yeah, it's like he gets 35 minutes and like over 30% usage without those two guys. So he's up to 7,000 on DraftKings, which is, man, I don't think I can go there on a 10-game slate.
35 minutes a game and 30 FanDuel points a game over his last 4 games.
Yeah. So like I said, the dud last game, everybody was on him. It might shake it out as far as ownership.
I don't think he's going to be high owned because of what he did last game. He is an inconsistent player, but we talk about good matchups. Zach LaVine tonight. I'm such a high proponent or a big proponent, and use this take it how you will. I love the narrative of a average or good player in a great matchup. I just think the upside is too good.
So there's no spread for this game right now. What would you project the spread and over-under to be?
Orlando-Boston? I think it'll probably be a 205 over-under in Boston by 7.
I think it will be a higher over-under than that. But I could see the spread similar to 7. I kind of like a Peyton Ibaka stack tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you want to talk about attacking Boston rebounding. Look what Keefe did to them.
Yeah. If you want to go balanced, I think that would be somewhat low-owned in a tournament.
Is Tony Parker back tomorrow? Do we have any confirmation on that?
Tony Parker is listed as probable with his foot injury. I think that probably takes Murray out of the rotation.
Kawhi Leonard is also a game-time decision still, but he returned to practice.
Yeah, he's listed as questionable officially.
Yeah. Tony Parker could be a GPP play against Drew Holiday.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Again, this New Orleans team has somewhat surprised me this year overall. I don't think they have really any playmakers on their team, to be honest with you. I don't even see Drew Holiday as like a elite offensive player. And with Anthony Davis pretty much getting hurt every single game, the fact that they're keeping games close surprises me. So, I don't know. Parker coming back from an injury, obviously a concern, but at 4,700, I don't know. I didn't really think about it, but could be.
Someone just said Melo got traded for Rivers and Jamal Crawford.
Who said that?
Someone in the chat. I don't know how true that is, but just throwing that out there. Jeff Teague is in a good spot against Sacramento. Even though he's on a back-to-back, I can get behind that.
Jeff Teague?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He almost had a triple-double against Sacramento a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's on a hot streak. He's got a couple duds. He had a dud against New York and against the Lakers, which are generally good spots, but he played well tonight. Obviously helped me win some money, and I always like to attack the backcourt in Sacramento.
And then lastly, John Wall, obviously, really, really good play tomorrow against Atlanta.
Oh yeah, definitely great play. He's kind of on a tear right now too, in the prime of his career. Again, I don't think you get a safer floor than John Wall at his price.
Moving to shooting guard. Sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I don't see anything on Twitter about the trade, so
I don't either.
Maybe I'm missing something.
Following the wrong people. But as soon as I hear something, I'll let you guys know. Shooting guard tomorrow. I think I'm going to fade the Brooklyn backcourt. Kilpatrick could be in play.
So they're starting Randy Foye. Harris has been ruled out already. And they've been not only starting Randy Foye, but he's been playing, let's see. Where is... Yeah, he had 28 minutes. He's averaging 28 minutes in his 2 starts.
Randy Foye?
Last game he played, last game he played 28 minutes and he had 2 points. So, I mean, why, I don't know. He's like 40 years old.
I just think you have, I don't know.
Patrick is in play.
Yeah. For the price.
I guess.
GPP play only. GPP only.
Yeah. Exactly. Just because, like you said, the Cleveland second team is nothing to...
Well, I mean, he's going to be going up against Kyle Korver. I mean, if you want to talk about matchups.
Yeah, I mean, it's all dependent on if Kilpatrick is going to get the usage tomorrow, and he kind of dictates that if he's coming in with confidence and, feeling it,
Now, who are you looking at out of Shump and Korver tomorrow?
If I had a pick?
Yeah.
Something tells me to pick Shumpert.
I feel the same way. Especially if
he's less of a role player on this team.
Yep.
I don't think I'd go either. I think there's other places at shooting guard for value, like there always is.
I don't know. I feel like if you go the big 3 tomorrow, I don't think you can... I'm okay with taking Shumpert as well.
I think either way, I'd rather go value elsewhere at shooting guard.
Jeremy Lamb. I think Nick Batum is in play tomorrow.
Yeah, he's in a good matchup with New York, obviously.
I love Nick Batum tomorrow.
He's been bringing the ball up. For some reason, I feel like he's always a little bit overpriced. I feel like his upside is
capped,
somewhat limited.
Yeah.
But again, he's in a good matchup. So.
Since his injury, I feel like he's kind of tailed off a little bit.
Not that. He just hasn't shown us that 50-point game. Remember, like, before he got injured, he was like a triple-double machine?
That's what I'm saying. Since he got hurt, he just hasn't... He's tailed off a little bit.
But his price hasn't.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I agree. I'm agreeing with you.
He's in a good spot, so he's worth considering, but...
Courtney Lee, I guess, is in play. I'm not high on him.
Yeah, he's back to playing 35 minutes, so... Will it continue? I don't know.
James Harden obviously in play. Am I crazy to kind of like Eric Gordon a little more?
Eric Gordon is also listed as questionable right now. He was a late scratch of that Boston game. So what I looked is that, let me see. Gordon, where is he at? There's so many people on the injury list tomorrow. Like, I have papers in front of me that are just full of people that are injured.
Yeah, it's ridiculous tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be one of those days where you're literally sitting there at 3:59 editing lineups just because you don't know who's going to play.
So, yeah, Eric Gordon, he was a late scratch in the Boston game
due
to back tightness. And we saw Brewer get the start. He played 24 minutes, but we also saw Decker get an uptick to 29. So Eric Decker. Why do I keep saying that? Sam Decker played 29 minutes. So I think they like they like Decker, and they're going to give him any chance they get to get him minutes. They're doing it.
I love Decker back at Wisconsin, man. Him and Frank were amazing.
Now, if Gordon does play against Philly, I'm aboard that train. And I'm aboard the Harden train, too, I think. If I had to pick a stud,
I would choose LeBron over Harden tomorrow. I made that mistake last time, and I'm not getting off that pick this time. I don't give a fuck about any minute projections. I'm not getting off that pick tomorrow.
well said.
I fell for it last time. And LeBron's
I'm just saying,
LeBron's 1,200
Harden's
cheaper.
in a good matchup.
He is, absolutely.
Stauskas Henderson.
He is, absolutely. Well, he's going to be going up against McConnell, I think, but...
True. Or probably a Covington. Seems like a better size matchup.
Tony Allen could be sneaky tomorrow against CJ McCollum defense.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I didn't really look there. Him and like Tony Parker, I didn't even look at. So I don't really have any insight. I guess like from afar, I could see it. I'm just playing up in pace.
Yeah, again, purely matchup. Tony Allen is not a scorer by any means, but if you're just talking matchup, not against it. So, CJ McCollum against Tony Allen, I like. Tony Allen struggles with jump shooters, and CJ McCollum is hot right now, and his 3-point shooting, I think he's like 42% on the year from 3. So that's where Tony Allen struggles is jump shots, and that's CJ's game.
Yeah, they've shown that it's somewhat of a weakness. They don't really have a 3-point game themselves. Now their percentages as far as defensive rating, and like I mentioned in the last show, in the paint, 3-point percentages up at the top of the league, but that's just the way that they play.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather roster McCollum or Lillard?
Lillard.
It's a little bit more intriguing, I think, on DraftKings. So you have Dame's at 78 and CJ's at 71. Whereas on FanDuel, it's what? Dame at 82 and CJ at 81?
I think you go CJ on
so DraftKings. At 71 on DraftKings, where he's both point guard and shooting guard eligible, it is somewhat intriguing. I mean, 5 times value at 71 is 35 points. And, I mean, he's got 50-point upside, obviously.
Dwayne Wade against Miami tomorrow? I know it's in Chicago, but...
Yeah, I don't know fading Dwayne Wade is tough right now. He's got a string of good matchups, and in those matchups, let's see, in the last 10 games, he's averaging 30-plus minutes and 38 DraftKings points.
Against at 8K, are you rostering that?
8K? Hell no. What is that? What he is on DraftKings or on FanDuel? Oh no. On DraftKings, he's 7K.
Okay, I can do that, but yeah, 8K. Ooh.
Yeah, 7K. I mean, in his last 3 games, he's taken 67 shots.
Whew.
So he's a prime part of what they're doing right now without a point guard.
They talked about moving Jimmy Butler to point guard. Do you hear that?
I mean, he's already playing the point guard, so might as well.
Right. What about Dion Waiters tomorrow? He's another guy that's just taking a shitload of shots. Without Tyler Johnson, he's the clear beneficiary.
His usage is clearly up there, and it's again, his price is kind of taking him out of, or at least on DraftKings at 6,800, it's kind of taking him out of cash. But
fuck.
I mean, when you look at it, it's like you have Waiters at 68, Beal at 68, and Wade at 7.
Yeah.
So that's a decision on DraftKings that you're going to have to make. Do you just go with Beal, who's a safer player, or you go with Wade or Waiters, who are both kind of streaking right now? I think in tournaments you pick one of the guys that are streaking, and in cash you go value.
The safer floor, yeah. Giannis against Milwaukee. I'm not high on him tomorrow.
Speaking of floor, I mean, Giannis is one of the safer floors in the NBA because of what he does across the stat sheet, you know.
But I
His
feel like his
matchup
ceiling
with
has been.
Toronto,
I feel like his ceiling's been capped recently.
yeah, his ceiling, exactly. It has kind of, we haven't really seen the big Giannis game in a while. But I look at Giannis for his floor tomorrow, similar to Wall.
Me personally, I feel like Jabari has been the one that's been taking off recently. Jabari's game has taken itself to another level this year.
I think we see that because if you look at we look at it comparatively to his price because we're rostering him from a fantasy perspective. But if you look at the actual stat lines without a fantasy price in the stat line, it's still to me like Giannis is the best player on this team, and that Jabari has, like you said, taken to a next level, and they
have a nice
doing
punch.
their thing. Yeah, they're doing their thing, and they're bringing this Milwaukee team on the map. Now, who do you think guards Giannis on Toronto? Something I always need to think about when I.
If DeRozan plays, I would think him. If DeRozan doesn't play, probably Amari Carroll.
Either way, I don't know. I guess Carroll. Yeah, I could see that.
So we don't know about DeRozan. If he doesn't play, Norman Powell's in play, absolutely. Avery Bradley is out, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So is Green, I believe.
Yeah. So Marcus Smart is in play then as well. Jaylen Brown could potentially be in play.
100% exposure.
Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you. CJ Watson is in play if DJ Augustine is out.
So yeah, they started Jeff Green last game, but what I read on Twitter from the beat writers is that they were trying to combat the physicality that Chicago was bringing in the front court with Wade and Butler, and that's why they did that. So I think we see them go back to CJ Watson.
New Orleans, are you touching this shooting guard situation? Buddy Hield, I think, is the best play out of them.
Yeah, no, I'm not going there. I mean, Tyreek's proven he's like a points per minute monster, but he's only getting like 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's still capped. I don't know where to go with the San Antonio shooting guard situation, so I'll stay clear of that.
Especially with Kawhi potentially back.
I don't know what's up with Monte. If he plays tomorrow, he has a good matchup against the Kings, but I don't know if he's going to. He only played 14 minutes tonight.
Yeah, I don't see why he doesn't play. I think he stays limited, but he's not the starting shooting guard of this team. I don't think he ever will be.
Garrett Temple, someone I think you should look at. We talk about great matchups, and that's Garrett Temple. Indiana struggles against shooting guards right now, and not that Garrett Temple's a good player at all, but he can hit a couple threes, and if he gets on a roll.
Yeah, it's proven to be a large sample now that we have of Garrett Temple starting and playing significant minutes. And so the reason his price is still where it's at is because he doesn't really have the high floor. He seems to project as more of a safe cash game type of plug him in value play. Would you agree?
I agree. Now, what about Malachi Richardson? He's gotten 14 minutes each of the last two games. If he gets 20 minutes tomorrow, I think he can crush value.
I mean, this is my boy right here. This guy grew up right around the corner from me, and he's just, man, I don't think he gets 20 minutes. And even today, even the game where he supposedly went off, he like took 6 shots and had 20 fantasy points. You know, it wasn't like this crazy game.
I just think there's a lot of reason in Sacramento to start to give him run.
there's a lot of reason on a lot of teams that they should be starting to give people a run, but no one's ready to give up. These head coaches, they don't think their jobs are secure. I think he's one of them. But he is a Syracuse boy, so you gotta give him love.
He has a pretty shot. I will say that.
I loved him. I wish he would have stayed. He probably would have benefited from staying.
And then obviously Bradley Beal. We talk about him being pretty safe against Atlanta. All right. I think I'm going to roll, if I'm going to hit a shooting guard from this game, I think I'm rolling with Bogdanovich tomorrow.
I'm not picking any of them, man.
And here's the reason I say that. Brooklyn plays from behind, and they're going to need threes. Bogdanovich is clearly the best three-point shooter out of these three, and I think he can benefit tomorrow.
Again, I've tried to make sense of this narrative and like find a logical reasoning as to when to play each of these guys, and there's just no logic you can play.
I don't know.
LeVert has the highest upside. He's trending upward. Bogdanovich starts. Hollis Jefferson gets more run.
Okay, so I actually disagree with that. I actually think Bogdanovich tomorrow has the biggest upside because of the necessity for three-pointers.
Yeah, I don't know, the whole team.
If he gets rolling,
he is one of those guys that does like feed off of the shot going in. I will give you that, but the whole team wants to shoot threes. Like they have Brook Lopez shooting threes, Justin Hamilton shoots threes, Luis Scola shoots threes. I mean, it's just like I don't know. There's a reason their salary is all the same,
Yeah. I don't know. My gut just tells
nobody has any idea.
My gut just tells me Bogdanovich. That's my gut feeling tomorrow. So take that how you will. I have no proof telling you that he's going to go off. I'm just telling you my gut. And then LeBron is absolutely in play. LeBron is 100. LeBron is my favorite play tomorrow.
LeBron is in a great spot against Brooklyn, and he is fired up. We saw what he did against Sacramento.
I have LeBron projected at 62 points tomorrow.
Man, if you were to tell me that LeBron gets 62 points tomorrow, I start my lineups with him.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I know why Excel and the formula put him at 62 points, but I'm not going to live and die.
It's not out of his realm.
It's not
it
at all.
Isn't. I mean,
57 points last game against the Kings. He's in an even better matchup against the Nets.
I mean, I could see LeBron coming out and having a 20-point first quarter tomorrow. It just seems like he's like, they need to win that bad, man.
They do. I like Kid-Gilchrist tomorrow as well against New York.
I like him especially if Zeller's out again.
Yep. Slide him down to the 4, right?
Yeah, so Kaminsky played limited minutes in the last game, even though he played, and we saw that his defensive numbers, I think, take a nice little bump.
Anyway, he's in a better position for rebounds as well, which is what he does great at. Kid-Gilchrist.
Yep.
Carmelo, I think, I feel like he's in play. He's put together a couple good games in a row.
Yeah, Carmelo actually took a price drop on DraftKings. He went from 73 to 7,200, which is way too cheap for him. Yeah. I played him in my cash game last time they played at 73, and he hit 43 DraftKings points. And, Charlotte gives up the third most DraftKings points to small forwards. Carmelo is shooting 52% in his last 4 games, and his real-life point totals are 34, 31, 26, and 30 in his last 4. So he's hit 30 points in his last 4.
Against Charlotte?
And he's playing against Charlotte. I don't see how this is like a blowout on either side.
I agree. I think Melo's a good play. I do.
It's actually it's a pick'em game. And it seems like they're limiting Porzingis somewhat too, minutes-wise.
I just think Melo's clearly, since Porzingis went out, Melo kind of took back control. Not that he ever lost it, but you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, yeah, I've been watching their games. Obviously, being around New York here, I watch a lot of their games, and they're all trying to go small, and that's why we've seen Hernan Gomez get 25 minutes over the last 4 games. They're trying to go small, and when they do that, that slides Melo to the 4, and that means he kind of plays off the ball. And I think it really benefits him playing off the ball, and that's probably the reason why he's shooting more efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have to run plays for him instead of him holding and fading and shooting. It just seems like it's working out better for him not having the ball in his hands for the majority of the shot clock.
Sam Decker, you mentioned him. I think that he deserves consideration tomorrow. I think at that price.
If Eric Gordon is out, I agree. I like Decker if Eric Gordon is out.
I agree with that. Ariza could be a sneaky play tomorrow. He's going to be low owned, I'll tell you that much. But Philadelphia has been really good against small forwards recently, so I don't know.
Yeah, I like Covington's defense. I think it's a bit underrated. And I'm not sure about Ariza's usage on this team. I haven't been rostering him as of late.
Okay, what if Embiid doesn't play? Does Covington get a large amount of consideration?
Obviously, usage gets spread out. It just kind of relies on him being hot from 3. I think he takes a lot of threes.
This is the game to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm about to say. This is the game to do it, and if it starts to fall, I think you could see some inflated offensive numbers from Covington, and he gets a lot of steals, blocks, rebounds as well for his position.
He can get peripherals, yeah, exactly. I'm staying away from Memphis and Portland small forward situation. Jimmy Butler, obviously in play against Miami. That's going to be either Dion Waiters or, who is it, Ellington?
Yeah, I just like from the simple fact that he's bringing the ball up. 9,800 might be a little high. He's only 8,900 on DraftKings. So it's hit between him and Kawhi. They're like the same price again.
I was just gonna ask you. My optimals brought back LeBron and Kawhi a lot. Butler's the same price. Who are you picking out of those two?
I think I go LeBron, Kawhi, then Butler as well.
Okay.
I don't think you can put LeBron in that same conversation. I guess you can.
Well, no, I'm talking purely between Kawhi and Butler at the same price, right? So my optimals are bringing back LeBron and Kawhi. So you can easily swap Kawhi and Butler.
Yeah. No, I like Kawhi. I like Kawhi better. He's got 30-plus real-life points in 6 straight games. I mean, the guy's doing it all.
And no Gasol, so if he's back, that's obviously increased.
Yeah, he's getting all the usage for the team. There's a couple of question marks, obviously. It's New Orleans, so is this game going to stay close? You know, if it's a blowout, we've seen his minutes.
Stay consistent, though.
I mean, but he is coming off injury, so
that's true.
Do they decide to sit him because he's somewhat hurt and the game's out of hand?
Here's one thing I will say that's really nice is if you decide to roster Kawhi tomorrow, you have an easy pivot. Literally, it can't get any easier than that going straight to Butler.
That is true. That was a godsend from the FanDuel DraftKings world.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you literally don't have to think at all. You literally just swap them. Does Beasley get run tomorrow?
Tell me, man. I have no idea. He goes from 28 minutes to completely sitting out.
He sat the last 2 games, so I think you gotta fade Beasley.
What the hell, man?
I like Terrence Ross more than DeMar Carroll, especially if DeRozan doesn't play.
I don't know. I don't think I like either.
Milwaukee
I like Ross over Carroll for the upside.
Milwaukee's awful against wing players. We know that narrative. Aaron Gordon lit the fucking Bucks up, so Terrence Ross I think is equally Well, not equally as athletic. Maybe. But he has an even better shot, so. And it comes off the. I don't know. I like Terrence Ross tomorrow. I do.
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go there.
What about Jay Crowder back? He had 42 points last game. Going to be against Orlando. Are you looking there?
I'm more looking at Crowder because of his matchup with Gordon, making me feel like I don't want to roster Gordon. It makes me feel like I don't want to roster either of these two.
Crowder is feeding off of Isaiah right now. He is always open at 3, or for the 3.
Why does his price just feel a little high though?
It is
$6K.
It is a little high, especially with the other small forwards on the slate. But
yeah, I don't know. I think at mid-range tomorrow, I wrote down Covington and Kid Gilchrist.
okay. Possible narrative: Jeff Green going back to Boston.
Yeah, I think Jeff Green is another one of the, like Garrett Temple, he seems like another safe value play. Limited upside.
It's crazy we're calling Jeff Green safe because he's extremely inconsistent as a player. But yeah,
well,
I agree with you. No, I agree with you. It's just kind of crazy to say that.
It is crazy. It's just this front office, man. It doesn't make any sense. They sent out a tweet the other day saying that they don't know, the GM sent out a tweet the other day saying they don't know what Aaron Gordon's true position is.
Yeah, he's.
To me, that's just a complete admission of incompetence.
Yeah, they don't know if he's a 4 or 3, and they drafted him.
Come on, get your shit together.
Okay. Obviously, Kawhi, we've talked about that. Paul George against Sacramento.
$7,300. I think that's a solid play.
GPP play.
Yeah, I mean, I like George over Melo on FanDuel and vice versa on DraftKings for tournaments.
Mm-hmm. Kent Bazemore. Telling you, Kent Bazemore.
The sexy 7 in the sexy 7 small forwards in Atlanta. Man.
Just watch out for Bazemore. His price is climbing a little bit, but watch out for him.
The Baze train is coming for you.
What are your thoughts on Kelly Oubre? He's getting 20 to 28 minutes a game right now.
I've been off and on him, and every time I get on him, nothing happens. You know, he doesn't do anything. So I don't think I'm going there. I think
sounds
anything,
like an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. Pretty much. Anyway, I think if I'm going small forward value, it's going to be Sam Decker if Gordon doesn't play. It's really the only guy I'm looking at, and I guess Jeff Green.
I just feel like you have to pay up at small forward tomorrow. We talk about rostering ball handlers, and when you have LeBron, Butler, and Kawhi on the slate, I mean, all 3 of those guys bring the ball up. So I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't have them in your lineup.
Yeah, you definitely have to do your research and pick which one you think has the least amount of question marks.
Kevin Love, obviously in play against Brooklyn. Trevor Booker, I guess, could be in play as well if you want to pivot off that.
No, I'm off of Booker, man. He's really not getting his minutes. I don't know why they continue to play Scola. Anthony Bennett is playing in Europe right now, so I'm not sure why he's on FanDuel. And I swear to God. And I think Love is my favorite out of the big 3 tomorrow. The fact that he has 3 straight double-doubles. Brooklyn's the 6th worst team in shooting and field goal percentage, and they allow the 2nd most total rebounds in the NBA. I don't see who else is going to rebound the ball.
LeBron's my favorite play tomorrow.
I like Love as think he's my favorite cash game play
LeBron.
out of those three.
LeBron.
The 62 points from LeBron.
LeBron. Houston, Philly. Noel Embiid is listed as doubtful, and so is Okafor tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think either of them play either. I don't see why you chance it with your trade bait and your franchise.
I think you have to go Noel. I mean, especially on FanDuel. He's 4,600 on FanDuel. What's he up to at DraftKings?
58.
That makes it harder, but on FanDuel, shit, I made the mistake of fading him last time. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I think 58 is somewhat of a fair price for him. I think he gets to 30. That's a safe bet for Noel in this matchup. What is it, Milwaukee? Who are they playing? No, Houston.
Houston, yeah.
I think it's a safe bet, but at 46, is that what you said? 44, 46, something like that?
46, yeah.
He's a must play. He's going to be super chalky again. So playing cash, you got to lock him in.
What about Sarek or Ilyasova?
I like Ilyasova.
I do as well. Sarek is sneaky.
I think Charge. He's not really getting the minutes like he should to make him like a GPP play. Ilyasova, though, I feel like this game kind of like fits his style of play. Obviously, they like to shoot threes, and so does he. So he's a stretch four, so I can see it.
Zach Randolph against Portland tomorrow. Good matchup.
So I will say that Randolph did play. I agree. He's obviously a good matchup. He played 38 minutes last game, which is unconventional for Randolph.
Yeah, that's who he started too.
Yeah, and JaMychal Green is probable tomorrow, so I think he goes back to his normal role.
25 to 28, yeah.
So if you're expecting him to do what he did last game, I think you have to check yourself a little bit. But yeah, you can't knock the matchup and what he can do in the post.
Looking at Miami and Chicago, James Johnson absolutely in play.
I don't know if I'm on James Johnson either.
Why is that?
Just the addition. So with Hassan Whiteside questionable, let's just assume he doesn't play. You'd think he'd get an uptick in minutes, but we saw last game against the Nets, we saw Okara White play 27 minutes, Willie Reed played 26 minutes, and James Johnson only played 19. So that to me is a cause for concern because he's the highest price out of those three. The matchup on paper looks awesome, but the fact that he didn't get 20 minutes last game is kind of a head scratcher because it was a close game in Brooklyn. And when I watched the game, it seems like it was a comeback
Miami.
win for Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah. So perhaps they were riding that second team because they brought him back, and James Johnson just kind of got left on the bench.
I still don't know why.
Something to concern.
I don't know why Okara White is not on FanDuel yet.
The only thing I can think of is he's an injury exception. He's not on a 10-day contract. They let the Heat sign him, but due to injury, the NBA.
Okay.
So once one of their guys comes back,
They have to release him.
they either have to sign him to a contract to release him. So perhaps that's what's going on with FanDuel. But
So how
he's
the
on
fuck is
DraftKings.
how's he getting paid?
I don't know. That's what I read today. He's on the team due to injury exception.
Fuck, let me get on the team for injury exception.
Yeah.
You don't even have to pay me.
You'd think the same rules apply though as DraftKings and FanDuel. So
Yeah.
that sucks that they kind of just left him off.
All right, Jabari Parker against Toronto. This is a matchup in heaven for me. I know he's on the road, and historically Jabari doesn't do as well on the road. But I didn't buy that narrative last time. Or I'm sorry, I bought into that narrative last time and he burned me. I think he had like 42 points. So, Jabari against Toronto. There's no one on Toronto that's stopping him tomorrow at the power forward position.
Yeah. He's going to go really low owned too with Kevin Love in a really nice spot at the same price. The fact that he is $7,000 on DraftKings is almost like easy money in cash. Yeah, I love his matchup, like you said, for all the same reasons.
I'm not touching Toronto or Boston power forward situation. Obviously, Serge is in a really good matchup.
does he get the minutes? The only thing, man.
That's
You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a theme across the NBA this year. Who the fuck knows who's playing?
Yeah, it's very true. He got 35 minutes last game. I mean, he's probably just a tournament play due to the front court matchup and the price.
Absolutely only a tournament play. I don't think you can put Serge in cash. Terrence Jones started last game, even with Anthony Davis. I like that move.
Davis is out. Play Jones. That's all I got to say.
Even if Davis isn't out, though, I think if he starts at the 4 again, I think the dude is a points per minutes beast right now.
I mean, I think you evaluate him on a points per minute basis, like you said, and put him in a range of what, 24 to 30.
Probably, yeah. But that's doable at 5'7".
Definitely do it. He's not 5'7" on DraftKings. I'll give you that. They have him way. He's 6,900, so you can get Jabari Parker for $100 more.
Nah, yeah, you take Jabari. Not even close. But if you want to spend down, he's 2,100
on DraftKings. That's interesting.
He's 2,100 less than Terrence Jones, or less than Jabari Parker on FanDuel.
Yeah, isn't that nuts, man? Can't believe that. That's a huge difference.
That is. That's crazy. David Lee, LaMarcus Aldridge, obviously with no Pau Gasol. I like LaMarcus Aldridge tomorrow.
They got a good spot. Both of those guys got a good spot, and I think all of these power forwards on FanDuel are just too high.
Yeah, they're really.
Terrence Jones and Kevin Love and Nerlens Noel. It's like those three guys are too low, and everybody else is too high.
Thad Young against Sacramento.
I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a decent pick. I think it's a tournament play only.
Thad Young outscored Miles Turner last time they played Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
That was strange to me when I saw that. But I generally avoid the front court against Boogie, no matter who it is.
See, I think you can play Miles Turner tomorrow against Boogie. Boogie's not a very good defender.
It's just something that I've kind of a rule I've used, and for the most part, it works out.
And then Millsap and Morris, I think I'm going to fade both those guys.
Yeah, Markeith's price is too high.
7,000 now, yeah.
I would love to play if his price was normal.
Yeah, normal. Brook Lopez. So me personally, I'm not buying this blowout narrative, Mike. I'm really not. And we talk about 3-point shots. Brook Lopez.
I think there's plenty of other guys that I'd rather roster over Brook Lopez.
Just saying, watch out. Brook Lopez can drop a 40-burger tomorrow.
He can. He definitely can.
Tristan Thompson against Brook Lopez?
Yeah, I think you can make an argument for that play as well. I think you're going to see this theme. I think center, a lot of people can good spots at center tomorrow.
Tristan Thompson had 30 points against Lopez last time, I believe. Let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah, he had himself a game.
31.8, yeah.
I played him.
So definitely that law is in effect. Spencer Hawes. Again, if Zeller's out tomorrow, Spencer Hawes is a great play.
Time and time again, I do it every time, and he's always under-owned. It doesn't make any sense. It's just proven. Hibbert gets the start. I guess it scares people off. He plays 15 minutes, and Hawes. I mean, even in a matchup against Golden State, usually the centers don't do well, especially scrub centers like Hawes.
That was the perfect game for him, though, with that pace and what he does.
Yeah, I thought so, too. But he went low-owned, and he's playing New York now, and they're trying to go small, too, so it just seems right.
I think the obvious play here now, if there's any sort of figuring out the center situation, is Guillermo Hernan-Gomez. The Knicks drafted him. They like him. I think they finally realized that they need to give him his run.
Yeah, Hornacek loves this guy, man. I still don't think there's any way you can say it's an obvious play with the Knicks and center.
Yeah.
But he seems to be getting the run. Obviously, has 30-plus DraftKings points in 3 of the last 4. and he's a lot easier to roster on DraftKings at 3,900. To me, it's Hawes is 43, Hernan Gomez is 39, and those are your two punts.
Okay, so Hernan Gomez or Thompson for GPP?
I think I go Thompson in both.
Okay, so I think I go Hernan Gomez in a GPP.
Yeah, he's definitely more of a GPP play, but I still like Thompson.
Thompson's safe tomorrow, I guess, if that's possible with Thompson.
Yeah, but if
Safer.
it's the same, like if Hernan Gomez was 3,900 on FanDuel too, I think then that would mean him in a tournament, then Thompson in cash. But when they're the same price, I don't know.
Clint Capella, good spot tomorrow against Philadelphia.
He is. Nene's probably going to come back, messing things up a little bit. I don't know. I'm kind of off of this situation still.
I'd rather go Thompson for 4,700. So
definitely.
Marc Gasol, what is there to say about Marc Gasol right now?
Coming off a career high.
Gasol's just, I don't know. He's locked in right now, man.
He's scored in double figures in 10 of his last 11 games. He had 5 3-pointers last game. Locked in, man. He is locked in. He's only 8K on DraftKings. I think, again, in this matchup, I think he's super solid. Super solid in this matchup against Portland. One of the best matchups of the night.
I agree with that. I love Marc Gasol tomorrow. I'm going to have to spend down at center just because I'm rostering LeBron and Kawhi, or LeBron and Butler. But if you can get them in there. Willie Reed, if no Hassan Whiteside tomorrow.
Yeah, I just mentioned the minutes of what they did against Brooklyn. They priced Willie Reed up on DraftKings. He's out of play for me.
See, on FanDuel, that's perfect for me. For what I'm trying to do, Okay, so let me ask you this. Between Willie Reed and Lucas Nogueira, who would you go? They're the same price, 3,900. If, granted, Hassan's out.
I think I'd go Spencer Hawes for 4K.
Okay, fair enough. That's true.
If I had to pick between those two, I'd go Willie Reed.
Okay. I agree. I would also go Willie Reed. Jonas in play against Milwaukee. Greg Monroe in play against Toronto.
Yeah, I think JV's in play. Monroe, he's got the upside, man. He's a tournament play for sure, but I like Valanciunas, though. I like that call.
Especially if no DeRozan.
Yeah, definitely.
He's the main beneficiary of no DeRozan. His usage goes up, I think, 5 or 6%. Al Horford against Vucevic or Biyombo, doesn't really matter. I like that matchup. If he plays. I think there was a question about him playing.
Who, Horford?
Yeah, he sustained an injury. It looks like he's clear. No, he's off the injury list. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, Horford's in play. Vucevic is in play. I don't know that I'm really looking to them unless, that's what I'm left with.
Dedmon, sneaky punt play. But again, I'd rather go Haas, Reed, or Nogueira.
Yeah, exactly. And all three of those guys get more minutes than Dedmon. Lee's been getting the start. So maybe on like a 4-game slate like today, but on the 10-game slate, there's better punt plays.
Mike, is a Reed Lopez stack on DraftKings a good idea? If Hassan's out.
I like Lopez too. Lopez gets who's he getting? Gets
Tristan Thompson.
Miami tomorrow, so he's going to get Reed. So Lopez is priced at 4,200. Reed is priced at 4,700. I think on DraftKings, 4,700 for Willie Reed is a little too much.
Okay.
I think I like Lopez better.
DeMarcus Cousins is a great play tomorrow. Again, I'm telling you, without Rudy Gay, DeMarcus Cousins is going to be a great play the rest of the year.
Yeah, he is. He's doing it all. Can't say enough about him.
And then Dwight and his love of the D versus Gortat.
Man,
That was a hilarious. Did you see Dennis Schroeder's reaction?
he dude had to walk away.
He was jumping up in the air. He couldn't believe it.
That's just proof to me that those sideline reporters don't listen to the response of their
Nah.
questions. Like
She was
literally
oblivious.
sit there and they think about their next question and they just don't even listen to what the players say.
She was oblivious the entire time.
I like Howard though. I think for 6,700 on DraftKings, he's cheap. He's got 35 DraftKings points in 6 of the last 9 games, which would be exceeding 5 times value. In the last game that he played Gortat, he had 20 and 12 with 2 blocks and an assist, which would exceed value easily. So I like this. I like that matchup at home. It's probably going to be a close game, and I think you can go Howard tomorrow.
I agree. So, well, all right, guys. As always, a little bit of housekeeping. Facebook business page. Make sure you're on there. That Mike does the pregame locks on there. 30 minutes before lock. Question and answer. Injury news. Twitter, Fantasy Phenom. Make sure you're following that. The Facebook discussion page. That's the page to be in for sure. That's the best. I'm telling you, some of the best heads in DFS on there. Everyone with the same goal of mine, taking down the Sharks. You know, everyone's a giant community in there. It's amazing. Email right there, PayPal, and then lastly, always the most wanted. The sheets for this are in the description. So the very first link, the Google group. Again, I'm going to be sending out an email with some clarification on how this works, but they are free until the end of the month. So you can kind of consider it a trial period if you're new to this. But please, please, please do not send me any payments for them yet. Because what I have to do is create a new group, and I don't have that set up yet. Along with that, I also don't have the proper thing set up for it yet. So please don't send me payments for the sheets yet. But starting February is when they will happen. So,
yep. Get in the Facebook group. Make sure you're chopping it up with the people in there. You got the same crowd, and it's growing every day. If you are new to the show or new to the Facebook group, again, we do our daily contest. They are pinned. The links to join are pinned to the top of the page. There's a free contest for each site, and they accrue progressive totals so you can compete at the end of the year in a tournament of champions for an awesome prize package. I will go ahead, like we do every night, and shout out to our winners on FanDuel. Our winner tonight was DSR 101, and I see you in the contest every night. I know this guy is always posting his best line, so congrats to you. He had a 328.8 total on FanDuel, and then on DraftKings, it was none other than some guy named YanksFan37. Yeah, that's me. 328 was my line. That was the line that took down that single entry GPP as well. I had Jeff Teague, Lou Williams, Paul George, Harrison Barnes, Nick Jokic, Devin Booker, Dorian Finney-Smith, and T.J. Warren for 328 on DraftKings. So
I told y'all T.J. Warren would be a good play. Told y'all.
Yeah. He was too cheap to pass up. So, yeah, get your lineups in. And if you don't play DraftKings or vice versa, you don't play FanDuel and you want to get your feet wet and give it a shot, it's like I said, it's free. It's an awesome opportunity to do so.
Yeah, you just kind of get some exposure to the opposite platform. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for showing up for the late show. I know it's fucking 5:30 in the morning where Mike's at, and those of you on the East Coast. So, thank you again. Yes. It was awesome seeing you guys. Awesome chatting. We will see you guys in the social media groups, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you guys tomorrow.